11 minutes.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Vivian and Toasties to follow. Balancing on the edge is today's theme. I always feel like when I'm in negotiating, whether it be with a vendor, a job candidate on job salary, or other negotiating items, I'm always feel like I'm balancing on the edge. I'm always feel like I'm teetering. Is it going to go? Is it going to be a win-win? Is it going to be a win-lose? Or am I going to have to start over, lose completely from ground zero? Well, in negotiating, what I've learned and what I've experienced is the key thing is doing research. Why and knowing your purpose and why you're negotiating. For example, and going out looking for a new vendor. Why are you looking for a new vendor? What does the market say for the cost of said product? What's the quality of the vendor's work? So that when you're going into negotiating and talking about the cost of their product or their service, you know how much they're going to, you have a general idea. When they're going in and you're negotiating with the job candidate, what does the job market say for this particular candidate, for this experience? I remember interviewing my first job posting, bringing in my first candidate. Exciting times. I was like, yes, I'm going to offer someone a job. I'm going to get them employed, and then they're going to be happy. Life is going to be good. Came in, we passed through all the stages. The team liked them. Doctor liked them. I liked them. My boss liked them. Everybody liked them. Started talking about salary. Then that's when it hit the fan. They were offered. My mistake for not asking this question. They had two other job opportunities. One was considerably outside the market range. Another one was a little bit more adaptable. Not knowing that, I lost. It was a lose. What was a lose-win? Loss for me, win for her. But not knowing my research, not knowing what was going on completely, I lost. So the steps in terms of negotiation, what do you need to do? Well, like I said, first thing, knowing what you want. Second thing, knowing what the party wants. I like to refer back to my job candidate again. She wanted a job, and she wanted the best paying job possible. However, something that I've learned, it's not all about the pay. So what else can we offer as a team, as an organization, and as a company? Pay is not everything, although it does mean a lot. And knowing the options. So, doing that, you want to make sure that you can manipulate what you can and can't offer. So, knowing hours, knowing PTO, because different folks look at vacation time different than pay. So, also in tips in terms of doing negotiations, breaking the ice. Making sure that you use I statements. Be honest and direct. I can tell you that when initially I was a little bit apprehensive and a little shocked that I was in competition with several of the people. But I was honest and direct, and I laid out the terms. And I can tell you that the company that I knew she was with, doing the research, was known for its rigor and how they treated their employees. And I knew that she was hoping she would realize that, but you got to be honest and direct in how you can compete and work with that person on doing that. And then also stick to the issue. It's a business deal. Don't take it personally. I can tell you that I took it personally for about a day or two. But then I realized it was a business decision. And she had to do what was best for her, and I had to do what's best for me. I say out of the deal, I got the better employee. I had to start over again, and which was a fault of my own. I was only interviewing one candidate when I should have been interviewing three. But by starting over and spending an extra 2 weeks, I got a better candidate out of the deal. So the next portion of my speech is calling someone up to do a brief negotiation and to go over these tips. And then, like I've done with my past speeches, is to get feedback from the team. So, Mr. Kittredge, would you mind coming up? Mr. Kittredge,
How are
good to see you.
you? Good.
Well, I got some good news for you. We want to offer you the position.
Right on. All right, I'm excited about that.
So we would like to start you out in 3 weeks, which will approximately the start of the middle part of August. Pay would be around $17.50, and we can talk about some of the other benefits.
It's not an hour, right?
It's $17.50 an hour.
Okay.
What's
No, it's a little low.
it's a little low? Okay. Well, what are you thinking?
I thought we had talked about that a week. Like 1,700 a week.
Well, we had talked about that there was an hourly position and then the market.
My misunderstanding. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So my apologies for not being honest or for not being direct with that one. But we do offer 3 weeks of PTO. Used for anything. We do pay for insurance, health, medical, and vision.
And that's for my family too.
That's for you and your family.
My extended family. I've got a grandson I'm taking care of.
And well, whatever I would say if they're dependent, yes, we can cover that.
Okay.
So that is a significant cost that you don't have to pay any premiums. So that's all taken up by us. The 3 weeks of PTO, you're eligible for it after. I can probably change that from a 90-day window to a 60-day window. So after that, and
We have some things with them we have to take care of. So the flexibility of schedule is great.
yeah, so with that's something else we could do as well. If you could send me an email of what you need starting off in terms of, I know school's starting soon. You probably want to be there with that. Let me know on that one.
Okay.
Also, in terms of, we have an EAP also with our company as well. We have, since we're direct primary care, we'll waive the membership fee and the month-to-month thing, so you can see our doctors without paying anything. It won't
We have
go.
pretty good doctors?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
And with that, so
So
you
I'd have to change what I'm going to now.
well, you can, you don't have to, but it's open there. That's open for you,
All right.
and that you don't have to pay any co-pays. So,
Okay. All right. I'll consider that. Okay.
all right. So you said you consider that. Do you want me to give you a call back next day or two and see what's?
Yeah. I got to look at this and see the big picture.
Okay.
And see that the health benefits are okay. I don't know if I want to change doctors.
You don't have to change doctors. That's up to you. That's just the added benefit of.
But I got to pay code. I got to still be paying it. Or our insurance is going to cover if I go to my own doctor.
Well, being a direct primary care, the monthly membership fee they would typically charge corporations or individuals is waived. So the only thing you will have to pay for is any medications that you buy. So
It'd be worth it.
So no co-pays. You get 30 to 45 minutes with the doctor. A lot longer time, and you won't have to pay any financial costs.
Okay. Well, I'll have to talk to the boss.
Okay.
You understand how that goes.
I understand.
I don't have much decision-making capability there.
Understood.
All right. Well, yeah, let me, do you have that something I can take with me so I can, because I...
Cool. All right, well, thank you, sir.
All right, great. Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, so feedback from you guys. How did I do on using my strategy? How did I do in terms of working with Bob on the different things he threw at me? And
just as a feedback, and I came out of my industry, right? Every industry has their own language, right? We used to say the fire service was their own street gang. We had our own colors, our own language, our own, right? So PTO, PA, CAP, AEP, just as a feedback is, what are those, right? As you start to explain them.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of the same, you obviously know your topic, this is something that you're running through, that language, that your own language, you gotta make sure that they understand it.
Okay.
Because that puts them on a very defensive part, well, I don't understand what he's saying, so now, is he trying to pull one over on me or not, or whatever, I mean, you don't know.
So I think you're right. I think the scenario, I should have laid a few topics and defined it and before going into it. But in a job interview, you're kind of,
No, it is.
It's kind of a difficult.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you.
My feedback is when Bob threw you the huge curveball that he thought he was being paid $1,700 a week and it was a $1,750 an hour. Yeah, and I know this is just a practice session, but one thing that would put me on the defensive if there was that level of misunderstanding, for you to have said, "Oh no, we talked about this." I think you should have said, and then you sort of corrected yourself and said, "I'm sorry if if there's a misunderstanding." I think you need to lead with that instead of saying, "Oh no, we talked about this. You should know this," because then that again, like Dallas said, kind of puts him on the defensive, and it's like, "Well, wait a minute," But then you backpedaled and you covered it, but. You might want to start with, "Oh gosh, I'm sorry, there's a huge misunderstanding here. I thought I made myself clear when I said it would, instead of."
Thank you. I caught myself. I've been trying
Yeah,
to.
I saw that.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Just to help with that, I think body language is something that you could shift a little bit to help people feel more uncomfortable. Like the way you're standing right now is kind of how you did the whole thing, and for me, that makes it like already kind of like separate, and then when it like starts with a conflict too, so like that is, so open yourself up. Like your facial expressions are awesome, but think about, your body. Are you closed here or closed here? That makes me feel like that space is kind of
Well, I tried to avoid, as Carolyn pointed out,
The
last
washing
my
hands.
washing of hands. So, yes, ma'am.
Back to the money. You offered Bob $17.50 an hour.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you were to check your figures, you would have came out, it would have been $17.50 a month, $1,750 a month. He was thinking $17.50 a week. So if you would have, checked the figures, you would have said, "Excuse me, I thought I said it was $17.50 a month. I'm sorry that you were led to believe it was $17.50 a week. If it was a week, I'd be doing the job."
That's very good. Thank you.
Check the figures.
Thank you. All right. Well, my time is up. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. I appreciate it. And next Toastmaster.
Thank you, Daniel. Daniel, when we vote on our best